Welcome back. Today we are going to be slowly going through the building process, or actually the conversion process, of the old B25s to the new B25 model based on Georgie's Gal. Alright, so what I did is load up the older B25, in this case it's Devil Dog, and what I'm going to do is take Georgie's Gal and I'm going to start taking components off of the B25 Devil Dog and putting it on the newer B25. However, because Devil Dog is larger and the blocks are older, because Stormworks added some new blocks, we're going to do some other updates as well, as like trying to get the nose to look a little bit more rounded. Alright, let's jump ahead a little bit here. Alright, so here we are at the nose, and what I'm doing is building up from the original nose of the Devil Dog and trying to use the new blocks to kind of make it look more rounded and a little bit more pointed. So I had to experiment for quite a while to get the blocks to work, so I did some 2x2s and 1x1s. Didn't try the 4x4s, but what I ended up doing in the end was mixing the 1x1s and the 2x2s together and then bring it out. And the only problem I have, if we forward a little bit more, is... Actually, before we forward it to that part, I started making the guns from the original B25, and they were using the smaller rails. So what I ended up doing later on here is using the bigger pipes with the hose nozzle to make the guns. But the pain in the butt part here is that because the 2x2 blocks are 2x2 pieces, and you can't really build from 1x1 blocks and then make holes, I kind of had to put the guns closer together, but it ended up looking better than I thought, so that was good. So what I did here is I started to put the nose onto the newer model, which is B25 Georgie's Gal, now turning into Devil's Dog. So I put the nose in place, and I started then building it out again to get the look of the rounded nose, or the strafing nose. So I don't know what to do next. Let's watch. Alright, here's the part I think I was talking about, because what I started doing is building the nose kind of rounded with the 2x2 blocks and the 1x1, or it still didn't look like it had a smooth transition going upwards towards the cockpit. So what I started doing is building on top of the nose and experimenting to see if I could use the 2x2 blocks to pull the nose back and give it more of a, I don't know, like a flowing downward kind of look. But what you're going to see is, of course, my problem with the guns is going to come up here. But we will kind of fix that. But yeah, see, so I built it up. And then what I do is I go ahead and I use the select tool and then bring it down and then start building it again. So let's go forward a little bit more. So here comes the problem section again. So there's not a good way that I could find to blend it in. Maybe there is a block that I missed. Does that square block work? I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and check that again. But I could not get these sides to blend in properly. So when you look at the bomber, there is a slight edge. And I'm not too sure what I did to fix this part that you're seeing here. But I did do something to make it blend a little bit better than that. Actually, I'm going to go look. I think there is a square block. I don't know how I missed it. But there might be a square block that smooths that out a little bit. But for right now, I had to go ahead and try different ways to get the blocks to kind of blend, but they don't quite blend still. So there's that. But I don't know. I'm sure there'll be a better way to do it, or I just missed a step. But I did get the guns in, and let's get to that part. So here's the nose, kind of rounded off, and you'll see on the right and left side there is that one little block edge that sticks out and kind of messes up my whole look, but it's pretty rounded and I like how that came out. So then what I tried to do is start building the holes for which the gun cannon go in, but as you can see, once you start deleting those things, you have to delete a full 2 blocks instead of just like one after the other, or one, what is it? Every other one. So that became a problem. So this plane was a pain in the butt just to get the nose right. So I tried different ways using the blocks. Does that work? Nope. Now I got a tip pointed out. So that didn't work. What else did I do? Let's see. Yeah, so you can see I don't know what I'm doing. So I tried different ways, and finally I got it to work by using a suggestive block and then just putting the cannons in and hoping that it kind of worked, even though it really doesn't. But also, you'll notice in a minute, right now I'm separating it by every other block, but in a minute I'll go ahead and put the cannons all together, all 4, actually it's 8, 4 on each side, but all 4 stuck together, and then that kind of worked. All right, let's speed up. So there is the nose with all 4 together, and then I'm starting to work on the side, but that's what it looks like now, I think, in the final version. But what's funny is every time I speed these up, I'm speeding up like 20 minutes of my frustration trying to build the nose. So now I guess I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the plane, which is not too much to do except add different little paint features, and I think there's a few different things on the back, but that's it. So let's get to the next plane, I think, unless I see something when I fast forward this. Alright, so here I'm starting to work on Little Joe, but if you notice on the top right here, I've got a moonroof and not a turret. So the B25 Devil Dog is a PBJ, and it does not have the turret on top because it was used in the Pacific for the Marines, and so the top turret was removed because it usually flew pretty low, I think. And so what I'm doing now is I'm converting this to Little Joe, which was a B25, I want to say G, B25G. And that one had the top turret moved to the back, unlike the newer models, which had it to the front. And then what I also did is I minimized this moonroof. It was actually large, but then I realized we had new blocks and I could make it smaller. So then I made it smaller for the both of them, the Devil Dog and Little Joe. So here I'm making it big still, but I ended up making it smaller. Also, I think what's cool about Little Joe is it also has drop bombs on the wings, or drop pop. What do you call them? I don't know what you call them, but bomb racks on the wings. So I added those, and I believe the side guns are not used on Little Joe. Can't remember. I built too many in one night. So let's fast forward and find out. So 43 minutes later, in 3 seconds, we're working on the side windows of Little Joe. And I think the Devil Dog had this too, but they just have small windows on the sides, no guns. And so we just put those back there. And that is it. I think there's also a little window on the left side of the emblem there, and that was added. And then you see the top turret is in place with Elbert, and that is pretty much it for Little Joe, I think. I mean, there's lots of details I did, but for the most part, those are the main large features that are different from B25 to B25. All right, and there's the nose art. Yay, it all worked. Oh yeah, and it has different gun turrets on the front. I think it only has 4 instead of the 8. All right, yay! Let's go forward. So here's Heavenly Body, and the hardest part about this was getting the nose art to fit, because basically this was the same B25. I just happened to make Georgie's gal because I wanted to do a new B25 model body, but then it ended up being the same body as Heavenly Body. So I basically made duplicates of the same plane, just with different nose art. There's not real differences on the body of the plane. So yeah, so Heavenly Body and Georgie's gal are basically the same plane. Slightly different model numbers, and that's just because they were made in 2 different locations or something like that. I think that's what the model number means. But both B25Js. So nothing to see here. Let's move along. So the final body is the B25 production model, which was the early B25. And so it has some different windows. It doesn't have the top turret. And this is like one of the first that rolled off the production line. It also uses the older emblem of the United States Air Force. So that's cool. What else about this plane? Oh, the wings were made straight initially, and that caused problems, I guess, with lift. And so they changed it to the gull wing design. So I do tweak the wings to be a little bit more straight on the bottom and eliminate the gull wing look when you're looking at it from the front. I think that's about it with this plane. But also, I did forget on Little Joe. Is it Little Joe? I don't remember if it was Little Joe. Actually, this isn't the last plane, is it? I built 2 more. But anyways, I think with Little Joe or one of the other planes, I did forget to build the bottom turret, which most of the B25s that you see do not have. And so I wanted one model with the B25 with the bottom turret. And the way the bottom turret was used is a remote controlled turret. And what they would do is they would be inside the plane and use like a glass prism, I guess, to look down and out, because they didn't have like cool cameras. And so they looked through a little mirror basically and were able to move the turret around and fire. So that's going to be on one of the B25s, which I got to build today. So let's fast forward to the next B25, and maybe I'll remember which B25 has the bottom turret. It's a B25C. That's what it is. And I think B25C is Berlin Express? No, I don't think that's Berlin Express. I think that was a D. I don't remember. All right, let's get forward. Okay, well, apparently, looking at my video files, I did not hit the record button when I built the last two B25s. So I'll just tell you about them as we look at the B25 production model finish up. So the last two B25s, I have a B25C and a B25D, I think. Not positive. I didn't look. But one is called Berlin Express, which was in a movie called Catch-22. There's Catch-22 that was made in 1970, and there's a Catch-22 that was made like last year. Both of them are pretty good movies, and it's kind of a satire dark comedy. So I'll link below if you want to check those out, because they're pretty good movies. They have the B25s in them, so you know, it's kind of fun to watch. Let's see, what else? Okay, so the other one is B2507, and 07 I think was the C. I'm mixed up. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just ignore me about the letters. But the point is, I made the C version because I wanted to go ahead and build the B25 with the bottom turret. And when I looked through online, like all the B25s remove these bottom turrets, so they don't have any of these things. So I wanted one B25 with that, and so the C versions and the D versions, when they were first off the production line, did have the bottom turrets, but then they removed them because they were crap. So yeah, so 07 is going to be the final B25 with the bottom turret that I got to go build right now. So hopefully you found this video kind of entertaining, maybe useful, I don't know. But I tried to slow everything down and let you see what I was doing with the builds and why I did some things. But it was kind of hard to narrate this because I did so many different things, and the video is like 3 hours long. So I probably missed a lot of things that I did. So what I have to do is, if it's okay with you, when I do these videos, I might have a lot of background noise, but I can talk about what I'm doing. But you let me know in the comments below. So if that's okay with you in the videos, I can do those, but they're kind of annoying when I have background noise. All right, so that's it for today. Go ahead and hit the bell if you haven't done so already, so it goes ding dong when I upload a new video. Like, I can't shake my camera. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye!